Welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry. That's Nick. We have Vito at Vito Picks, a new guest here joining us. Weapon X is now joining us. We have a couple more people that will be on their way. So we got a packed house today. Nice Thursday card, and we are just going to jump right into it here. First up, Carolina is in Boston. Minus 150 for Carolina, plus 130 for Boston, a total of 5.5, minus 110 each way in this game.
We're getting feedback.
Oh, does somebody have the stream playing? No, are we good?
I think it's good now.
Okay. 1 second here. Here's the stats. Carolina 7-2-1 of their last 10, playing well, trending to the over. Boston 2-3-1, also trending to the over. Boston has had success at home versus Carolina. However, the last matchup was a 7-1 Carolina win, also trending to the over. Over here, we have pretty good numbers for Carolina all around here. Goals against, goals for, and on the penalty kill. I am going here with Carolina in regulation, plus 125, and Carolina puck line, minus 1.5, plus 170. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, look at the spot here. This was pretty plain and simple. Oh, I'm hearing feedback again. I don't know what it is, but sometimes I hear it and sometimes it goes away. But looking at this spot here, this one drew my attention when I first looked at it. It's still at 2.5. I got the team total over 2.5 for Carolina. I laid 160 with it. I think this is a spot where they should absolutely slam. They've gone over 2.5 expected goals in 9 of their last 10 games. They're playing a Boston team that's not going to have Bergeron. They're not going to have Marchand. I believe they said their top line is Howla with Smith and Pasternak, or Hall and Pasternak, something along those lines.
Hall and Pasternak.
Hall and Pasternak. Okay, that's what it was. I knew it was one of those guys. This Boston team, I think, is in trouble. And I said this during the ESB show this morning. I said Boston's not a playoff team. I don't think they're a team that's going to make the playoffs, and I think this is going to be the start of their downfall, is losing Bergeron for who knows how long with that head injury, and then losing Marchand for being a freaking idiot. So, team total over 2.5 for the Carolina Hurricanes. I think this is a smash spot for them tonight.
All right, Weapon X, what do you think here, Hurricanes and Bruins?
Hey, I think the Boston Bruins fans should definitely thank me for what I posted last night. They're not making playoffs. They're not going to make the playoffs. Tuukka Rask said, yeah, I'm going to try to make a comeback. He was there for, 8 games or whatever he was there for. He's like, fuck this. I'm out of here. This is a fucking disaster. I'm done. I'm 34 years old. I'm sick of this stupid shit. It's Carolina for me. I know they burned me a couple times, especially with Ottawa. But I mean, a lot of people have been burned on Ottawa, betting against Ottawa. I feel that's the type of team that they are. They just come out and somehow get these big wins against these big teams. But hey, and we got our residential, my boys.
Yeah, Andy.
Our surprise guest is Andy.
Yay!
Carolina puck line, baby. Let's go. Let's fucking go. This is a smash for me. Carolina to get back on track here. You know how much I love puck lines, especially at the number you're gonna get it at. I'd rather lose with a puck line than lose on the hook, or on a money line at minus 40. So that's just me.
All right, Vito, what do you think in this game?
Well, for me, it's basically a little bit too late to jump on Carolina for me here. Only I mean, if you look at the regulation price, but anyways, the price has dropped a lot, and I don't like to jump on these prices, when I have lost the value, because there are so many games in NHL. There will be more games, so I will have. Well, and anyways, of course, the Carolina should win this game. I mean, two games lost in a row, and now you played this half full Boston team, and Carolina should take care of business. But what I have noticed sometimes when I know from hockey, like from Boston now, this all talk goes about Marchand and Bergeron, and like nobody else is in that team, and somebody. Well, I usually see teams regress after like 1 or 2 games when they don't have these top end players. So usually there is just like a small motivation for these players which come from third and fourth lines to really step up. Like they have this extra motivation because they are now actually having the touch of the puck and they will play on a power play, and there will be someone else who perhaps will score for the Bruins today. So I definitely, if I would place the wager yesterday on Carolina, I would be happy, but now it's too late for me to jump in. So I will just watch this game. But actually, yeah, I have first period over in this game. I guess it's like -120. It's pretty good price, I think. So that's the best price I can find. So I will go with first period over 1.5.
All right. And our resident Carolina Hurricanes fan, Andy, it is great to have you back. What do you think here, Hurricanes in Boston?
Thank you, Terry, and thank you, everyone. It's good to be with you all. Hopefully I missed the Canes' 2 bad performances, and now I get to come in and back them publicly where they should get a win here. But
all is well in the world now, baby, because you're back.
Yeah, but we have to also remember that Boston Bruins, they are a perennial playoff team. They are still a very good team, and as Vito said, it's not like Bergeron and Marchand are the only players that are offensively productive for the team. Like the Oilers, they only have a couple of players that you can truly rely on. But Boston Bruins, they're still a very good team. They have pride and they're playing at home. So I just would exercise some caution in this game. The line has moved very significantly since yesterday. Carolina was actually an underdog yesterday. So now they're -150. I do think they win, but I think it will be closer than people think it will be because what tends to happen, as Vito said, is that teams, when they lose players, regardless of the way that they lose them, everyone else tends to step up. And that lasts a game or two, and then you see the effects of star players being out. So wouldn't be shocked to see this go to overtime. I do think Carolina pulls this out. I considered Carolina to win this in regulation because I didn't want to pay -150, and you can get that at plus money. But I actually think a better way to play this game is to double it up with the total and go for Carolina to win the game and over 4.5 goals. And that covers you for a 2-2 game that goes to overtime and Carolina wins it 3-2. And you can get that at even better odds at plus 125, I think. So that's the way I'm attacking this game. And the reason why I'm not going all out on Carolina here is because last time Carolina went to Boston, they humiliated Boston. I think Boston won't forget that. And secondly, look at what Carolina have done in their wins recently. They've all only been by 1 goal. So they're not blowing teams out recently. So I'm just kind of protecting myself here. For me, it's going to be Carolina to win and over 4.5 goals, and that's inclusive of overtime.
All right. 1 game done, 6 more to go here. Columbus is in Buffalo. So maybe the game of the night here. Columbus -120, Buffalo +100, a total of 6 in this game. I am passing. I could see Buffalo winning this game, but I could also see Columbus winning this game. I'll bring up my stats page here. Columbus trending towards the over right now. Buffalo kind of towards the under, but it's kind of mixed there. Columbus, horrible goals against on the road. Buffalo isn't really good at anything either. This is a pass for me. Not much to say about this. I won't take much more time. I lean towards the Sabres at +100. If Patrick Laine is out, I would have a lean towards Buffalo, but no play in this game for me. Nick, what do you think about this wonderful game we have here tonight?
clicks the button. Stop it. Get some help. I'm just kidding. For me, I actually did have a couple bets on this game. I love the over in this spot. Dustin Tokarski, I think, is making his second start in like 3 months. And it's, I believe, going to be Elvis Merzlikins in net for Columbus. When we take a look at what Columbus has done, they've gone over this total of 6 in 8 of their last 9 games for expected goals. 4 straight and 5 out of 6 for Buffalo as well. Buffalo, when you look at their expected goals against here, here's another one that I was looking at. I like Columbus's team total over because when we look at what Buffalo has been doing lately, 4.23, 4.81, 3.89, 4.46, 3.56, 6.34, and 3.55 in their last 7 games for expected goals against. This is a team that gives up a lot of chances. They are not very good defensively, and I don't trust Dustin Tokarski to stand on his head and keep those high expected goals against as actually something that like Shesterkin can do or Saros can do or like one of the top goals like a Vasilevsky. No, this is Dustin Tokarski. I expect goals in this game, and I like Columbus to put up at least 4. I got 5.5 last night around -138, so I went with that over 5.5, and I'm on the Columbus Blue Jackets team total over 3.5 at +125 as well. I think that's a great price for them there.
All right, Weapon X. So, what do you think here, Blue Jackets and Sabres?
Man, fuck. I mean, if the over doesn't scream for this game, you haven't been watching hockey all season. I mean, look at it. Look at what we have here for the Sabres in nets, and look at what we're having on the other side. So even Merzlikins, yes, he is a better goalie, arguably, but I mean, Buffalo has actually been pretty good scoring in the first period. Both teams strength to the over. Love that Canada jersey, Nick. I just noticed that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just got it in the mail today.
Good lesson for you last night.
Oh yeah, I learned.
But yeah, anyways, for me, I'm probably gonna get the alternative over here at 6.5. When games like this are supposed to go way off, which I expect out of this, especially with Buffalo, I believe it's their first game back since the break.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So Columbus played last time. They lost to Washington, correct? Or did they beat Washington?
They beat them.
They actually beat them, right? So
Yep.
so they actually got scoring, and Line, if he's in the lineup, he's probably gonna keep scoring. He's been actually on fire the last 3 games he's played. He's had 2 points in I believe the last 3 games or 4 games he's played. He finally has kind of that little push that you want from a goal scorer like he is. So for me at 6.5, even money, I got it at 100 on cool bet. So for me, that's the play.
All right. Vito, what do you think here, Blue Jackets and Sabres?
Well, couldn't agree more with the rest of the guys who already spoke here. I mean, I watched the pregame media for both coaches, what they spoke about their teams. And I mean, both teams have the green light to go and just shoot the puck, I mean, and make less hesitant plays, as they said. So that means they will be like more open with the puck, I think, today. And we're going to see scoring in the both ends. And as the Weapon X mentioned, Merzlikins, which is from my country, he's great goalie. He's great at home, I mean. On the road, he hasn't been that great. He needs that momentum which he gains from the home crowd. So, definitely the over 6 is the play for me in this game.
All right. That sports guy. Blue Jackets, Sabres.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of nailed it here. Over 6 is definitely the move. I think like Vito was just saying, if you look at Merzlikins' splits, he's got goals against sitting above 4 on the road. So he definitely has a heavy difference in home road splits. He gets beaten a little more on the road. And then if you look at this Buffalo team, they've lost the expected goal battle in 9 straight. They've given up 18, 16, 12, 19, 20, 10, 13, 19 high danger chances. So they give up a lot of chances. Columbus going into the break played 2 pretty good games, and then coming out of the break, we saw them beat the Caps So offensively, they're doing all right. I think we expect goals in this game with this goaltending matchup, Tokarski and Merzlikins on the road. So it'd be over 6 for me. I haven't taken it yet. It might be my last play I add to my card. This was kind of the game I was just saving for last, but definitely over 6. Columbus team total is also a look. I expect them to win this game. I think it's 3.5 at plus 115 now. And then one other potential look would be the Jackets race to 3 at plus 125. But I don't know if I want to take that. Like Merzlikins, like I said, on the road, he struggles. So we could see this game go 2-2 eventually. Maybe the Sabres go up 3-2 and then Columbus comes back. So I don't really want to touch that race. I think you're safe taking over 6 and just leave it at that. And then just for the Carolina game, I know I jumped in late. I'm on Canes in regulation plus 120. I personally don't think without Bergeron, without Marchand, this Bruins team is not really going to be able to hang. Before that Pittsburgh game where they put up 10 high danger chances, they had 6, 3, 9, 9, 8, and 9. So they failed to get in double digits. And that was with Bergeron and Marchand. So they kind of hit a little bit of a lull going into that break there. And then when they play good teams at home, they don't really win. They don't really play too well. So I mean, I think this is a spot for Carolina. So Carolina and reg plus 120. I debated the puck line at plus 200, but I thought there was enough value in regulation for plus 120, so I just took that.
Ryan, thank you for being honest, man. Boston does not have secondary scoring. They are dog shit without their top line. Let's just say what it is.
Let's wait till tomorrow. Let's see what happens tonight, and then we will go over that tomorrow because there's been times Edmonton was supposed to win.
Well, you look at the Canes last game, like they should have won, right? But I mean, they tend to play down
Edmonton
to their competition. I think this
Canes should win definitely. Well, that only won 7 loss last time Boston. They should have some pride. Even Columbus has some pride. You know,
who's going to step up? That's my question for Boston. I'm literally looking at the roster, and I'm looking at the stats. I'm looking at the guys shooting and the high danger chances, and they have it.
When I looked at the third line and I saw who they're gonna play against, like Fast, Niederreiter, and Stahl, and the third line for Boston was just terrible. So
but often you can't look at the stats because they're disguised because those players were in. They don't reveal themselves until you remove those players. You have to shuffle the lines, and then you see the manifestation of what happens when star players are out, and other players who aren't star players get a chance to step up and win a game. I mean, this is a game that this team will want. They will want to beat Carolina. You know, they're certainly not going to overlook them. I think the Carolina win
will be are two different things, though.
Yeah, of course. I'm just saying, don't be so certain that Carolina destroys Boston here.
Still a ninja.
No, I don't
expect. By no means do I think they destroy them.
Yeah, but
I don't think they destroy them. I think it'll be a tight game.
One of the live betting opportunities here, and I know that Terry loves to spruik the capacity of the Minnesota Wild to come from behind late in the third period, and that has been the case. But actually, Carolina Hurricanes have the best goal differential in the third period in the entire NHL. Yeah. So if it's tied or if even Carolina's behind by a goal in the third period, I'll probably pull the trigger on a live money line on Carolina.
Mm-hmm. Amazing point, because last time they were at plus 1620. I believe, Nick, no, 1,700.
Yeah, I got 17 to 1. I threw $3 on it.
They almost tied it with like 10 seconds left. That was insane. So I completely agree with what Andy said. You want to live bet Carolina, especially when they're down in the third period. That's one of the best teams to get huge odds on and cash.
Most of the teams, I would say, Colorado, Carolina, any team which is down, Florida.
They're a good team. They can come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just had to bring Terry into that because, of course, there's a big game tomorrow.
Saturday.
Saturday, sorry, yes.
And you are back, so Andy's team and my team are going head-to-head. That will be a very good game on Saturday. Andy, what do you think here, Blue Jackets and Sabres?
Everyone said everything. This is an over or nothing. I'm comfortable to bet the over 6. I'm surprised it's not 6.5. I'll take 6 minus 125. There is another potential player prop angle to look at, and that's Rasmus Dahlin. So at at the skills event, he was talking with one of the Buffalo Bills players, Dawkins, and he said that if he scored, he would perform the gritty down. So I think it's worth sprinkling Rasmus Dahlin to get a goal. Now, it is plus 500, so it's fairly unlikely. But I also would cover yourself with a point because that's minus 125. And the last time that the Sabres played Columbus, he had 2 assists.
I know Nick and Alex don't mind the plus 500 place. I know they took OEL at plus 500 the other night. So
Of course, he scores the
these
game
those
after.
two will definitely.
So you could take you could either just play it conservatively and just take him to get a point at minus 125, which I think is a reasonable play in and of itself, or you could bet both him to get a goal at plus 500 and him to get an assist at plus 125.
All right, we will move on along here. The next game, Pittsburgh is in Ottawa. This is a very interesting game. As you can see here, Ottawa's playing well, 5-2-1 in their last 8 games. Pittsburgh 1-1-3 in their last 5. Ottawa is very trending towards the under right now. 7 games went under, 1 went over. Pittsburgh obviously has the better road record versus Ottawa's home record, but Ottawa is 5-1 in the last 6 at home versus Pittsburgh. This is a huge home series. When these two teams face each other, the home team is very successful. So I added the play. I am doing it. I'm jumping on the underdog here. I'm taking Ottawa Senators money line, and I got it at plus 170. So I'm rooting for the Senators tonight. I think they're a live dog, and I'm on them. Nick, what do you think here, Penguins and Sens?
Yeah, I feel like when we look at the Ottawa Senators and we look at the record for the Ottawa Senators, that's a lie. That team is much better than their record suggests. They were screwed in the beginning of the season from COVID. So they're one of those teams where their record does not represent how good that team is. And when we look at their numbers here, I'm on their team total over 2.5. They've gotten at least 2.5 expected goals in 8 straight games. And Pittsburgh has given up at least 3 expected goals in 4 straight games. So Pittsburgh has been giving up chances recently. And I like this Ottawa team. Even without Norris and Batherson, they've been continuing to put up goals, which is very, very positive to see from this Ottawa Senators team. So I'm going to look for them to score me a few goals tonight, 3 specifically. Team total over 2.5, around minus 110. I think minus 115 is where I got it at here. I really like that. Oh, DeSmith's in that as well. Yeah.
All right, Weapon X. So what do you think here?
Yeah, I mean, you guys kind of nailed it. I mean, for me, I was looking already at Ottawa as a dog already from what I've seen against Carolina and the previous games. They're not a team to be taken lightly anymore. Even I was wrong with how much depth they have with the young players that they do have, with Gaudette and Paul. These guys who are in third line, second line now because the big guys are hurt. They can score. So and they have one of the best high danger chances percentage, if I'm not mistaken. I know Ryan's the high danger chances guy there with the sheet, and I know he has Ottawa up there, I think, in high danger chances. So for me, I'm going with the plus 170, or anything that you can get at that price for Ottawa is worth the sprinkle with the Smith in. What else can I say? Pittsburgh's been starting games slow. They had to come back in the last game. So it doesn't inspire me at the prices. I think that's what this one of the sucker bets of the day that a lot of people are going to take on, which is probably Pittsburgh to win, especially the casual bettors that take that juice money and that they're just like, oh yeah, Pittsburgh should totally beat Ottawa, and then Ottawa's probably going to come back and smack this, and that's why I like this spot right here.
All right, Vito, what do you think here, Penguins and Senators?
Senators play some tough hockey, man. They make so many hits. That's why they're successful. That's why they win against Carolina, because they make a lot of big hits. They finish their checks, and players start to throw the puck away. So that's why they play very great hockey. And I mean, today you have to look at one more angle. It's and Matt Murray first game in net in Senators against Penguins is the first time he's gonna play his former team. So and he's been hot lately. So maybe Matt Murray is on his game today as well. So no official place in this game. I mean, Ottawa is a very good team, and I think it's gonna be a close game. And I think Ottawa will outshoot Penguins, and it's gonna be decided on the puck luck somehow in this game. So
All
no
right.
official place. Yeah.
All right, Dot Sports Guy, Penguins and Senators.
I took over 6 yesterday at -120. I think, like Vito said, you look at this Sens team, and I think I was on record saying the other day, like, people call them the pesky Sens for a reason, right? They are a team that is resilient. They're full of young players, and they're full of players. They're a team full of players that are looking to step up, right? Like, you lose Batherson, you lose Norris, and like Alex said, you get guys that step up. I do disagree. I think Gaudette is dog shit, but that's for another day. That might be just bias from seeing him in Vancouver, but. Yeah, like I said, that's another story. But yeah, like I said, I think over 6. I think we see Ottawa generate some goals here. Pittsburgh is giving up high danger chances as of late in their last 4 to 5 games, just before the break and this last one after the break. And then they got DeSmith going in tonight, who hasn't been great at all year. His save percentage on high danger chances isn't great. So, like I said, I think the Sens get a couple. I think Pittsburgh will pull this out in the end. I get it that it's the revenge game for Matt Murray, but I mean, I don't know. I kind of got a feeling that they pull it out. I think we see goals. So give me over 6. I think we see a tight game, but like I said, I think we see goals, and I'll take it over.
All right, Andy, Penguins and Senators. What do you think in this game?
Yeah, look, I agree with what the other speakers have said. I think the Senators are live here. I've taken them, and the key here, there's some teams. One team that comes to mind in particular is the Toronto Maple Leafs, where they are just so consistent for when they perform and when they don't perform relative to where the bookmakers set the odds at. Toronto do not do well when they're made a huge favorite, but when they're made a moderate favorite, they tend to perform. And the Senators are one of the underdog teams that perform really well when they're set at odds of above 100 plus 150. So plus 150 or like today plus 170. They perform really well in this range where the odds makers think that they're not going to win. In fact, when the Blue Jackets this season not Blue Jackets, Senators this season and last season, when they're made a dog of plus 150 or better odds, then they win outright at 44 or 45%, I believe, which is incredible when you think about what the implied probability is for a plus 150, plus 170,
40%.
plus 200 odds. And if you just blindly back them when they were plus 150, you would be up significant value. Where they actually don't perform that well in is when they're made a small underdog at around like plus 120. So here they're meeting that mark. They're also in the position of playing at home against Pittsburgh in a spot that they have always done well at. As was described earlier, this head-to-head matchup just has incredible home dominance for both sides. I think that matters. I think the players know that when they're going there. But on both sides, like I think Pittsburgh know going into this game that this is going to be a really, really tough game because they can't seem to win in Ottawa. And also it's going to be in front of an empty crowd, which for Ottawa isn't an issue because they're used to it. But for Pittsburgh, it's not as
Bubble
comfortable.
game. It's a bubble game.
So for me, I think it's going to be. I think Ottawa wins this. So I'm backing them at plus 170 also.
Andy, Great points, man. One more thing, if I can add, I was just looking at this because I'm looking at Ottawa, and Ottawa to score first or Ottawa race to 2 goals is at plus that one's at plus 140. So Ottawa to score the race to 2 goals is plus money at home against a Pittsburgh Penguins team that starts really slowly. I think.
Wouldn't that make you want to look towards Ottawa first period money line at plus 145?
I mean, that's a good one too. I just also like the race to 2. You don't get many races to 2, I think, with a team like Ottawa who tends to score first. Yeah, they do give up a lot of goals in the third period, but I mean, for them to get to 2, I think, yeah, first period is also a line there, but it could end up a 1-1 period or a 2-2 period, and then your money line is gone. So yeah.
All right, we will go on to the next game here. Washington Capitals minus 220 are at Montreal plus 180. Total of 6 in this game. Montreal fired their coach, so it is the first coaching game by Martin St. Louis, who doesn't really have any extensive coaching history. I'll bring in the history here. Washington has had success against Montreal. In Montreal, 4-1 in the last 5 games. As you can see, it's gone over. 3 games went over, 1 under, 1 push. In Montreal's last 13 games, they're 1-9-3. 10 games went over, 3 under, 1 push. Washington 2-2 in their last 4. 3 games went over, 1 under. As you can see over here, Montreal is dead last at home in goals for, dead last in home goals against. They are just not a very good team. I don't think the coaching change is going to really do that much for them, and not tonight either. I'm on Capitals puck line, plus 115, and Capitals race to 4 goals, also at plus 115. I am aware that Ovechkin is not going to play today, but I still think this Caps team is a lot better than Montreal. And yes, I think Montreal will put up a good fight, but I think they'll get outmatched in the end. And the Capitals will get to 4 goals. I could totally see a 4-2 game. Montreal might tighten up a little bit defensively, but I don't think it's going to matter. Nick, what do you think here, Capitals and Canadiens?
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see how this team reacts to Martin St. Louis being your new head coach. And I was thinking about it today. I was thinking potentially as a future for next season, if he's still the head coach of Montreal, taking Mr. St. Louis to win the Jack Adams next year could be an interesting spot. But looking at this game tonight, I have Washington team total over 3.5. I got it at minus 125. It's now minus 140. I do see some value on that. I see the Capitals being able to create some chances, and we've seen what the Canadiens have been doing recently. We have the Capitals who come in who have scored at least 3 expected goals in 7 of their last 9 games. They've gone over that total in 3 of their last 5. For me, this is a Washington team total over spot. If you guys are looking to get involved on Montreal, maybe look at taking them plus 150 in the first period on the money line. I think Montreal could come out quick tonight with their new head coach, but I'm not going to trust them for 60 minutes of hockey. So it'd be a lean towards Montreal plus 150 first period money line, but I played the team total over 3.5 with the Capitals here.
All right. Well, next, so what do you think here, Capitals, Canadiens?
Can I go last on this one?
No problem. Vito, Capitals, Canadiens?
Well, I actually locked in Capitals yesterday, but I locked it in even before the coach was fired. I do that often this season when the teams play in Montreal, because you can get a very great prices in the regulation time. So yeah, I did that with Washington. I got like minus 120. So now it's down definitely. But anyways, with the new coach, I think the game will be closer than it should be if the coach would be fired. So I think the game will be closer, but I'm in Washington in this game anyways.
All right. That sports guy, Capitals and Canadians.
I took over 6 minus 110, I think it was last night. I think, like you guys said here, Washington over their last 7 games, they have an expected goals for of 3.5. And then they're playing this this Montreal team who we've obviously seen get beat up night in, night out. They struggle in net, they struggle defensively, they kind of struggle all around. But like you guys said, with this new coach, I think we see a little bit of a spark here. I don't think maybe they come out and they win this game, but I think maybe offensively we see a little bit of an injection into this lineup, a little bit of spark. I think they could score a couple here. I think Washington. What do I have here? One sec here. Yeah, you look at Samsonov. He's won tonight for the Caps. In the month of January, he went 0-3-1 with a 384 goals against and an 876 save percentage. So he didn't look great over the last month. He hasn't played well. Washington defensively hasn't been as great leading into the break. So I think the Habs can get a couple here, maybe 1 or 2. But I think this game goes over. So that's it for me.
All right. Andy, Capitals and Montreal Canadiens. What do you think in this game?
I don't think a coaching change is going to make much difference in this game. Maybe it stops Montreal losing by 4 goals instead of 5. But there's no way I'm taking the Canadiens here. Look, every time you think you can come up with a reason to back Montreal, they lose. And then every 10 games or so, they win a game unexpectedly. So I don't want a piece of this game at all. And the Capitals have just been major disappointments, and they're without Ovechkin. So for me, I'm staying away. I won't even be watching it.
All right. Weapon X, what do you think here? I think your picture in the background, I think that
Says everything.
explains it.
I live in this beautiful city, Montreal, which is now whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, you think Martin St. Louis is going to change something tonight just because they literally fired the one scapegoat they could still do in Montreal to justify how bad of a team they are from a roster standpoint, from a scouting standpoint, from a franchise standpoint? Good. But the reality is the reality. And the reality is that this team is the worst team in the NHL. It is not the Arizona Coyotes, because at least the Arizona Coyotes have an excuse. They've been literally selling the entire roster to get first-round picks for the next couple of drafts. And they have like 5 first-round picks. So I expect Washington to whoop ass in this one, even without Ovechkin. So personally, I'm on the race to 4 also there, so you can get that plus money because the team total is a little juiced. I don't usually like paying juice on almost anything and basically on team totals either. So for me, I'm going to stay away from the puck line just because Samsonov has been horrible in nets. Yes, the Canadians can score goals if you let them, but they will get scored on more often than not, and they will continue to lose games, and these games will probably keep going over. So if you also like the over in this one, if I can get an over at plus money, I don't know, it might be a push at 6. So if I had a plus money, I would have pulled the trigger on it. But Capitals to win to score 4 first for me is great.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's what I'm on. On to the next game here. New Jersey, plus 210, is in St. Louis facing the Blues, minus 250. A total of 6 in this game. I'll bring up my stats here. St. Louis 7-3 in their last 10 games. They are playing pretty well. New Jersey 2-10 in their last 12. Both teams are kind of trending towards the under here. New Jersey 6-15-2 on the road. St. Louis 17-5-2 at home. St. Louis has won 8 straight games at home versus New Jersey. They enjoy playing this New Jersey team in St. Louis. All of St. Louis's stats here are top 10. 4th in goals for at home, 8th in goals against, 5th in home power play, 6th in the penalty kill. And as you can see, Devils have a very bad road power play, but they have a pretty good road penalty kill, which is a surprise considering their goals against on the road. So I wouldn't really recommend any St. Louis props in this game. I do try to go and look for to get the edge sometimes with the power play props, but New Jersey has seemed to have a pretty good penalty kill. In this game, for me, I am on St. Louis race to 4 goals plus 105. I think they can score 4 goals on this New Jersey team, and I can see maybe a slow first period, but I think if anybody gets to 4 goals first, it will be the Blues. Nick, what do you think here at Devils and Blues?
We're getting a St. Louis team that hasn't played in 12 days. That is a huge red flag for me here. I think that's way too long of a layoff there for this team. And we have a New Jersey team that's played a few games since the All-Star break. And New Jersey, granted, it was against Ottawa, against Montreal. They've been actually putting up a decent amount of expected goals. They've had at least 2.5 expected goals in 9 of their last 10 games. The only one they didn't, they had 2.47. So they've been putting up decent amount of goals here. I think they put up at least 3 here in this game. I have the team total over 2.5 at plus 115. I have the over 6 in this game as well at minus 115. I think this is a game where we see goals, and I think we see at least 3 from these New Jersey Devils. I think that this is a live underdog in this spot. I do not trust Binnington. I do not trust this Blues team on 12 days rest. So this is a Devils or nothing spot for me, and I took the Devils team total over here at 2.5 at plus money. So, and then I took the full game over. So that's where I'm looking at for here, Devils and over for me.
All right, Nick, I know you have to go shortly. So if you just want to go over the final 2 games here, Tampa and Toronto, just give us your picks. And
for the Lightning and the Avalanche, I'm on the over 6. I got it at minus 115. It's now at minus 126. So a little bit of a nice little line movement beat there. Also on the Avalanche team total over 3.5 at plus 110. I think we're getting a huge discount here on the Avalanche tonight. When was the last time we saw them as a pick 'em at home, where they are 22-2 this year? And then they've been sitting this whole All-Star break thinking we lost to the Yotes, we lost to the Yotes, we lost to the Yotes. Yeah, this team's going to come out pissed tonight, and they're going to show up for the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champs. Team total over 3.5 for the Avalanche, as well as the over 6. And to close it out, I'm going to go with the Leafs. Team total over 3.5 here at plus 115. I think we see some goals here from the Leafs. I think this is a good spot for them here. The Flames coming in off of a back-to-back. Daniel Vladar is most likely going to be in net. I can't see them going to Markstrom back-to-back games. I don't know if that was confirmed or not. Vladar.
Actually,
they have gone to Markey on back-to-backs.
Yeah.
I know they have. I don't know if they're going to tonight. It's projected Vladar. It's projected Vladar. I can see them going to Backstrom. Either way, I like the Flames to take care of business, or the Leafs to put up at least 4 goals in this game. So that's where I'm going to be going for that one.
All right, and your best bet and best parlay piece?
My best parlay piece is going to be the Canes team total over 2.5. That's at minus 165. My best bet, I'm going to go with the New Jersey Devils team total over 2.5 at plus 115. I think they put up at least 3 goals there against the Blues.
All right, thanks for coming, Nick. If anybody wants to find Nick, his link will be in the description. Every capper that's on today, if you want to find them, their links will all be in the description after the video is done. Thanks for coming, Nick. Good luck tonight.
All right, good luck, everybody.
Weapon X, what do you think here, Devils and Blues?
Yeah, I like the Blues, though they haven't played in so long. New Jersey's hot coming out of Montreal. They showed they could score goals even without Jack Hughes. I mean, in my opinion, Jack Hughes is overrated anyways. He still looks like a kid in the schoolyard. That's just me. He's the least talented of the Hughes brothers. Let's just put it that way. Ryan will agree with me on that one. I know that. So for me, here's the over 6 at almost even money. If you can get at even money, I think we see goals regardless here. I don't know if I can trust Binnington with a puck line on St. Louis. if it was Uso, who's been like crazy hot this year and has played his best hockey of his career, I would probably go St. Louis puck line. But at the price it's at minus 105, I can't do that. So I'll just go with the over 6. Both teams to score in the first period. I also like that one in this game.
All right, Vito, what do you think here? Devils and Blues.
So I guess the Blues they lost the last game right before the All-Star break. I guess to Calgary or no, not to Calgary. Who they lost the last game before they went to the All-Star break?
It was
Jets.
The Jets 4-1, yeah.
Yeah, the Jets.
Yeah. So they also have lost, and well, yeah, they haven't played for a long time. I know that they signed the extension for the head coach yesterday, so I don't know where their heads at the moment. But I know that they want to get. I know why Binnington is playing, because more or less they want to trust him as well. Because in these times, when these COVID times in the league, you have to have 2 stable goalies. All the teams which have decent 2 goalies, they're doing great, because we see a lot of goalie issues actually in these times. Well, for me, I don't trust, to be honest, this Devils team, but because they allowing a lot of goals. I mean, 4 goals in last 5 games. That's like 4 goals per game in last 5 games, and but they have been scoring a lot. I mean, they scored 7 against Montreal, which is not a great team, but still you got that scoring touch, And I think they will bring it as well today a little bit, and they will get some goals, and St. Louis perhaps will get some goals. So over could be a play here, since Blues is just on. There's no value on Blues. I mean, in this game, how do you only a puck line? But I also don't trust the puck line. I guess the over should be a play in this game.
All right.
Yeah.
I can't talk you off that with the Devils goaltending and Blues as well, Binnington. That sports guy, what do you think here, Devils and Blues?
It's pretty easy for me. Over 6, minus 120. I think I took it at. New Jersey offensively has played okay as of late. I know they played some pretty shitty competition, but expected goals over 3 in the last 3, and not bad before that as well. And then if you look at the Blues, I mean, sure, they had a little bit of a run where I think you said they went 7-3, but if you look at if you break those games down a little more in terms of expected goals, they lost the expected goal battle in a lot of those games. And if you this is a run of their last few games: 3.52, 3.37, 4.97, 4.32. 1.75 against the Kraken, 4.27 expected goals against. So defensively, they haven't been great. And then you got Binnington going in net in his last few starts: 7 goals against, 6 goals against, 1 goal against, but then 5 goals against, 4 goals against. So I mean, he has not looked great at all. I think this Devils team is going to be able to get a couple by Binnington, and then I think the Blues are obviously going to be able to score on home ice. They're a good team on home ice. The Devils tend to give up more goals on the road. So I think the over is a smash play here, and I'll probably just keep it at that.
All right. Andy, what do you think here, Devils and Blues?
Yeah, so look, I'm just going to... I don't agree with what Nick said. I don't think the Devils are alive here at all. I think they're dead before they even start playing this game. They're not a good road team. The Blues are an outstanding home team. Beating the Montreal Canadiens by whatever scoreline means nothing, because every team should be doing that. And I mean, how many games have the Devils actually won recently? I'm just
two out of their last 12.
Yeah, exactly. 2 out of the last 12 games, one of which was to Montreal. Well, who was the other one against? It was against... what do you know? It was against the Carolina Hurricanes. But nevertheless, I shouldn't have asked that question. Never. So they have 1 good win and one non-quality win. And actually, if you look at what happens when the Devils win a game, they almost never back it up with another win. And that goes back multiple seasons. So I don't think the Devils are alive here. So I think the Blues have been priced correctly. I'm not going to lay those odds. Question is, in any other spot, I would take the puck line here on the Blues, except for the 12-day layoff. I do think that is something you have to factor in. But the angle I love in this is the first period over 1.5 goals. Both teams hit this at a high clip, particularly the Devils. And often it's the Devils that score first. So I've already placed over 1.5 goals in the first period as a bet. And then if the Devils take the lead, I'll live bet the Blues.
All right. Next up, we probably have the game of the night. I will save Weapon X for the end here. Tampa Bay plus 100 is in Colorado minus 120. A total of 6 in this game. This was the video I did a free pick video for last night, and I took Tampa Bay money line plus 100, as well as the draw at plus 325 in this game. As you can see here, Tampa Bay 7-1-1 in their last 9 games, playing pretty well. Colorado 15-0-2 in their last 17, so playing amazing hockey. 22-2 at home this year. But Tampa's had success here in Colorado. They've won their last 5 straight in Colorado. And my opinion on this is if anybody can beat this Colorado team, it's going to be the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I'm going with Tampa Bay, but I don't think they win in regulation. As you can see, it's extremely hard to beat Colorado in regulation. I think this goes to overtime, and then I think Tampa gets the win. Vito, we'll go to you first. What do you think here, Lightning and Avalanche?
Yeah, well, first of all, if I feel that the game will go to overtime, I will never lay a wager, because these teams in overtime, it's 50-50 a coin flip, So I like to more pick a side when I really feel like team actually can win it in 60 minutes. So I don't need to watch the overtime. Anyways, talking about this game, it's going to be a nice matchup. Well, both teams will get up to these games. It's no question about that. And I mean, I guess, well, I would take a look. Maybe this game could go actually under, because sometimes these good teams, though, people tend to watch always over with these good teams. But the mindset when you go out to this game is not to shut down the offense for the opposition team, to not let in the goal, and you just score on your chances which you get of the rush, or you get a power play. In the games like these, the teams tend to shut down the opposition first. So I don't have any. Well, if anything, I guess I would take Colorado in a money line, because it's pretty great price to get for the Colorado at home. But I don't have any place on this game. I would just rather watch and enjoy the game.
All right, that's Sports Guy. What do you think here?
I'm in the same boat as you, Terry. I took the Bolts last night at plus 100, just seeing even money, and that's not a knock on the Avs. I mean, I can see this game going either way. I mean, obviously we've seen the Avs play at home, and we know how good they are at home. But just this Tampa team getting Cooch back tonight, fully healthy. They got the edge in goaltending with Bassey, I think. I don't think Colorado will be able to go 22-2 and whatever over the back half of the year at home. I think we're going to see them lose a few more games, and if a team's going to beat them at home, I think Tampa's got a good shot. So if you're giving me plus money on the Bolts, I'll take it. Like I said, I wouldn't really talk anybody off taking the other side, the Avs. I mean, how often do you see the Avs at this price on home ice? You really don't, right?
Never.
So I wouldn't really talk anybody off of it. So for me, it's just I'm taking a shot on the Bolts with the better goalie, getting Cooch back, just trying to call my shot, I guess, right? It's not my most confident play by any means, but like I said, I mean, I don't think they're going to repeat that record at home. Sure, they might have a 75 winning percentage at home over the back half of the year, but I mean, to sustain what they did over the first half of the year, I just don't think that's likely.
I'm totally right there with you. Andy, what do you think here, Lightning and Avalanche?
If there was to be a soccer player of the day, it would be in
It's
this
Lightning
game.
money line, yeah. Let me hear it.
And look at who Colorado have lost to at home. They lost to Columbus and they lost to Arizona. The Arizona loss, I think, was completely unsurprising. You've got a team on a massive home streak record, and they were looking ahead and everyone was talking about this matchup. No one was talking about the Coyotes, and for the Coyotes, this was their Stanley Cup game to go in and be the ones that end the streak. So, yeah, it means nothing to me in my handicapping of the Avalanche at all. I don't detract.
And
It doesn't
Wedgwood had
detract from them
the
at
game
all.
of his career too. So
Sorry?
Wedgwood had the game of his career.
Yeah, exactly, which you need for teams like Arizona Coyotes. You need all of those stars to align. But it does matter in one regard, insofar as I maybe would have been a bit more interested in the Lightning if Arizona was still, sorry, if Colorado was still trying to maintain their home streak. But now that monkey is off their back, they don't even need to think about it. Even if they're falling behind in the game at some point, all they need to think about is winning this game. They don't need to think about the fact that they're going to lose the record as well, the streak record. So I think this allows them to play more freely. Now McKinnon isn't playing, and he obviously is an outstanding player, but the depth in the Colorado team is in their offensive line, not in their defense. Is in their offensive line. So if they were missing a key defensive player, I would be more concerned than the fact that they're missing McKinnon. They have more than enough offensive players to be able to put up goals here. I agree with Vito. I think this game goes under because of the fact that this is effectively like a playoff game, and it's a game that they both want to win. And they both have defenses that can keep this game close. So I think Colorado win this game. And I think that the soccer player of the day could actually be Tampa Bay Lightning money line, which I can see a lot of money's coming on. It continues to move down. Colorado are now up to money.
You retired that sucker bet. All right, just leave it alone.
I did, but I said if there was to be one, if it existed, it would be this. But yeah, I mean, you're getting a team with.
It's okay. Ryan doesn't want to hear it.
Record, that kind of home record at -115 in what will be a motivated spot, and they're well rested. Give me Colorado money line all day, every day.
It's not that I don't want to hear it, Alex. I mean, like I said, I could see the reason to take Colorado here, right? Like, you do not get this price on this team at home. But to me, it's just I took the plus money, took the edge in goaltending. And who knows, at the end, me and Terry might be suckers, or maybe you guys are going to be sitting here like suckers. Who the hell really knows?
Yeah, it's a smaller bet for me on my Tampa bet is smaller. It's only a half unit compared to my other bets.
Alex
so
is itching to go right now.
It's not, Weapon X. We are running a little short on time here, but
these guys are basically trying to get back on top of a fence that they already declared themselves on one side of already. I can see it.
I bet Tampa money line half a unit. That's it. I'll stick with that.
Let's hear the Avs fan talk. Let's go.
Well, did everybody go yet?
Avs puck line, Avs -3.5, Avs team total over 4.5. McCarr,
No.
First period.
Shut out.
No, I still, as much as I hate the Tampa Bay Lightning, I still have mad respect for that team. You guys remember what happened in the second game of the Florida game? So the Avalanche played Florida twice. The first game went over, and the second game, we all got fucked. They went under. It was a playoff type atmosphere. It was fast. It was physical. The danger chances were not. There was danger chances, obviously, because both of these teams are super skilled, but they were not open for a long time. Yes, I'm on the Avs here for the exact reasons why Andy put out there. If we were still undefeated, I would have been on Tampa. I even said it. I think the first game we lose at home is going to be against Tampa.
Yeah,
if that would have been that, yes, I would have faded the Avalanche here. I probably would have taken an over because we were probably getting smacked. But again, we lost against the Coyotes. It was kind of a look ahead game, and also it was a reset. Like, we don't have to do this. Like, try to win every time at home. The monkey's kind of off the back. Both of these teams are rested. Yes, Kucherov is with the Lightning back, but he's been back for 5 games before the break. So I don't think that's a huge impact for the Lightning regardless. Both these teams are going to be pretty healthy. Colorado's very deep on offense anyways, even without McKinnon, who's coming back Sunday. So for me, it's the money line at minus 109 on CoolBet. That is the best money line I think I'll ever get, maybe the whole season. So I'm not going to waste. I mean, if we lose, we lose, but we could, again, this game could go to overtime, and Colorado is pretty good in overtime or in shootouts. Both of these teams can score, but I will not touch an over or an under because we've seen games in Colorado go under almost every single time before the break. If this is a playoff type of game, you won't see the over hit, or you might get a push. So for me, it's the Colorado Avalanche money line. I know it's not exciting because usually I give the puck line. I may sprinkle a little bit on the puck line because it's at plus 220, but I'm not going to give that to everyone that's betting and that's trying to make money because, again, to hit puck lines again with teams like this going back at it, it's not a very high winning percentage. I know that. The only way this could be a puck line cover is a backdoor cover. If Colorado has the lead going into the last 2 minutes of the third period, Tampa Bay pulls out the goalie, that's where you can get your puck line cover. That's it. That's all. Nothing exciting. Makar maybe to get a goal.
But I think that if you want to go for plus money in this one, even better than the puck line is the draw, because I think 2 of the last 3 head-to-heads have gone to draw. The regulation draw is plus 330.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the draw.
That's really high. Like, I'll be sprinkling that because I think that if there's going to be one game tonight that goes to overtime, it could be this one.
Yeah, I agree. I could totally see overtime or shootout.
All right, we'll go on to the next game here. Welcome in Nathan, who's also joining us here. We'll get your talk here after. We'll go here to the final game. Toronto is in Calgary. It is not plus 140. It is minus 140 for the Leafs. Live error. Minus 140 for the Leafs, plus 120 for Calgary. A total of 6 in this game. I'll be really brief. I am passing. Both of these teams are playing very well right now. 6-0 to the Leafs, 7-2-0 the Flames. Both are trending over right now, so I want to talk anybody off the over. Leafs have had success in Calgary, 6-1 in the last 7. So I would not talk anybody off the Leafs. I would not talk anybody off the over. But I myself did not get to anything. I did actually put Toronto money line in my parlay. I'm not going to give my parlay out. It's a really long one. It is on the spreadsheet. If you want to check it out, the link to the spreadsheet is also in the description of this video. Weapon X, that sports guy wanted to go first. He has to leave. What do you think here, Leafs and Flames?
Yeah, I'm on the Leafs money line. I took it yesterday. I think it was minus 120. And again, this is one of those games where I wouldn't really talk anybody off the Flames. Both these teams are playing really good hockey as of late in terms of creating chances. And just in general, both these teams offensively are clicking. So I think we see goals. I took over 6 as well at minus 120, I believe. And then I took both teams to score in the first period at plus 145 or plus 150. Both these teams have the ability to score early. I think we've seen just over the past month and just on the season in general. So I think that's a good look. What else did I say here? Toronto has dominated in the head-to-head. I think they're 7-1-2 in the last 10 against the Flames and 6-1 straight up in their last 7 games in Calgary. So that was kind of just the deciding factor for me, just the head-to-head. They got the rest advantage. I mean, like Andy said as well, like Toronto tends to let people down when they're heavy favorites, but when they're priced around the minus 120 point, I think that's usually when they do all right. So for me, I took the Leafs money line, and again, I wouldn't talk anybody off the Flames. I just think with the rest, this is a spot for Toronto. An interesting thing, Vladar, if he does go for the Flames, I don't think he's had a single home start all year this year. I think all his starts have been on the road. So it'll be interesting to see how he plays in front of their half home crowd or whatever the hell the capacity is in Alberta right now. I have no idea. But yeah, like I said, Leafs money line, first period, both teams to score, which is going to be my best bet, plus 145, I think. And then the over 6 at minus 120. And then my parlay piece, let's go Leafs Flames over 5.5.
Over 5.5. All right. Perfect. Thanks for coming out.
Minus 160. Yeah, no worries. Thanks for hosting and best of luck, everybody.
No problem. See you later. Weapon X, what do you think here, Leafs and Flames?
Yeah, I don't know if Markstrom's back in. Is he confirmed?
I don't think anything's confirmed yet.
But yesterday I was watching this game because I had quite a few picks on this game yesterday. Cashed nicely against Vegas. But they were talking about Vladar almost never plays at home, and they're not planning on resting Markstrom with the few games that they've played this month. So it's a real possibility that we still see Markstrom for Calgary. I know they're on back-to-backs, but the Leafs have not exactly been perfect. Yes, they've won a couple of games. They came back to win that last one. So for me, I'll probably would take the value. I'm just going to look more into the numbers at Calgary on the money line for them to win tonight at home. A team like Calgary at home on the money line, I cannot trust Toronto to like win this at minus money. I will never put that much on a losing franchise. They are losers since '67. It is that's what they do. Especially when you bet on them, that's when they take your money and they put it in Staples Center. I don't know what the hell it's called now. I forgot what it's called now. They changed the name every 2 years.
Scotiabank Arena, I believe.
Yeah.
Vito, what do you think in this game, Leafs and Flames?
Yeah, well, as Weapon X said about the back-to-backs, I mean, you have to really watch what kind of a back-to-back it is, you know. This is a kind of an easy back-to-back. They have played yesterday, they can play today. It will be not a problem. If you check just yesterday, the game was finished at the first period. I mean, I also had actually Calgary in the regulation because I find teams which play back-to-back after Oilers, they struggle because Oilers are a very fast team, and usually teams are getting very tired after Oilers game. So that's why I backed Calgary yesterday. But today, I mean, Calgary already on the second period, there was like pedal of the gas, you know, and they were just playing 5-0 score. So I think they will have enough strength for today to play against the Leafs. And another thing is, if you check how Calgary plays, usually these they tend to split these elite teams in a win and losses. So we saw that against Vegas. Actually, they lost 2-3 in Vegas. They win now. Vegas at home. They lost. Same with St. Louis. They win the Blues at home. Lost the Blues. And many games, if you check Calgary, used to split these elite teams.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see also. I haven't placed anything yet. I expect actually the line maybe moves even more on a Flames side because everybody's betting, I guess, Leafs. So I will maybe jump in right before the puck drop on Calgary money line.
I like this guy. I mean, this is the first time I see you, but my brother, all hats to you. You really seem like you know your hockey and you know.
I played for like 20 years, man.
There you go. So we have the same point of view. I've played also for most of my life. So
yeah.
And again, congrats for that performance against Sweden. You're Latvian. If I'm
yeah,
you said Merzlingus, and I was like, wait, that's from Latvia.
Merzlikins, yeah, man.
Man, you guys really, really came back in that game and really gave Sweden a run for its money. And
we usually play like that, man. We cannot score, so we try to tend to keep it low scoring.
I'll say this: you play more physical than the Russians, so kudos to you. I find the Russians a little soft.
Man, that's another show we can make.
Yes, yes. So we are running a little bit behind, but Nathan, welcome on in. Give your opinion on this game.
Yeah, I just got off work, hopped on. I would like the Leafs to start hot here. They're one of the hottest starting teams coming out the gate. They win 50% of their first periods. They score in like 70% of their first periods. I'm on them in the first period reg and money line. I think it's going to be a good game. I think we're going to see goals, unlike the first game that ended up 1-1 in overtime. Flames, they although it wasn't a very tough game, we all watched them absolutely just dominate last night, and then kind of just skate around for 2 periods. But I do think we're going to see goals. I'm excited about this Leafs team. I've also have the over. But this one should be a good one for a late night game, which sucks. It's going to keep me up watching it. And yeah, just because we have time, I'll stop it right there. But I've got a whole bunch of advanced stats on this one.
All right. Andy, what do you think here, Leafs and Flames?
I think you can make an argument for both sides. I think you can make an argument for both the over and under. And all of those odds are at either, minus money or slightly plus odds. Why not just take Mitch Marner to score a goal at plus 250? He's done it in 8 consecutive games. It's a streak now for him, and maybe this is where it ends. But at plus 250, I'm just going to bet that, and then I don't care who wins, how many goals there are, as long as there's one, and it's Mitch Marner.
I'm worried to jump on that just because I haven't betted at all, and
Yeah,
if
but
he has that streak, I don't want to jump on.
If it was like Matthews, Austin Matthews is minus 105. I wouldn't do it if it was Matthews on a streak and you're only getting those odds. But plus 250, I think it's worth backing, even if you do it for less than your normal stake.
Yeah, that line's been the hottest in hockey for the last 6 games. Both of them, I think, are both on the scoring streak. So that line scores a lot. If we are going to see goals out of Toronto, it's probably going to come from that line. And they play on the first unit power play. So great look on that.
All right. The final segment of the show, best bets and best parlay pieces. I will bring up the record here. We have some people that sent in their best bets and best parlay pieces. So I will read those out, but I want to get it down here in the scroller first. Weapon X, what is your best bet?
Thank God Edmonton's not playing today. Let's just put it that way. I'm torn here between the toss up. They're both plus money plays. Gosh.
Man, I couldn't choose my parlay pick. It was so hard.
Yeah, it's just for me. I just like a lot of this slate. So
while Weapon X has a think about his, I'll tell you mine. My best bet is the Avalanche money line at minus 115. And my parlay piece is the Blues money line at minus 260.
We take okay, I see.
All right, Weapon X, I just need yours, and I can put it in the scroller. Are you going to go Avs money line?
No, we're not doing that.
So Andy has more belief in your Avs than you do.
Well, it's just because I'm a little behind. I'm a 4-6, so I need my odds to kind of go up. And
yeah, that's true.
We can hit a good one here. So.
But then you could fall even further.
Yeah,
it's 2 ways.
But it's a risk I'm willing to take. Anyways, other than that, I've been blessed with hockey this year.
Carolina Hurricanes could be a money line parlay piece, perhaps.
Yeah, they totally could, and I'll just go, man, with the Carolina puck line at plus 180. Let's just fucking do it because I'm already on it. So it's go big or go home. Yes, I believe it's 180.
So it's 175 at Bet365.
Okay, sorry. Wait. Seriously? Not on here.
Is it still plus 180 somewhere? What about best parlay piece?
Not letting me take it. Best parlay piece. Let's see how juiced that is, just because who gives a shit.
Remember, odds don't matter. Best parlay piece, just win or loss.
Yeah, Colorado plus 1.5. I would never give that.
Hey, if someone's doing a parlay, they can add that in.
Yeah, I mean that's probably minus 500 or something like that.
I am not sure. Okay, perfect. I got them here. I'll go over my best bet. Carolina money line minus 150. Best parlay piece is Washington money line. Nick went New Jersey team total over 2.5 plus 115. His best parlay piece Carolina team total over 2.5. Tim Toronto money line minus 138, and best parlay piece Buffalo plus 1.5. That sports guy. Toronto Carolina both teams to score first period plus 145. Best parlay piece Toronto Calgary over 5.5. Andy, as he said, Colorado money line minus 115. Best parlay piece St. Louis money line. Weapon X Carolina minus 1.5 plus 180. Plus 1.5 for the parlay piece. Vito, do you want to read yours out?
Well, give me that over in that Sabres and Columbus, I guess, over 6. Let's see some mistakes, turnovers, some hat tricks. I mean, some saves and like 6-5 maybe ending. I mean, and the parlay pick, I guess Blues Devils should go over 5.5.
You can choose 4.5 if you want. Because the alternate totals.
Over. I mean, it doesn't matter. Then take 4.5. I mean,
4.5 is an option.
Yeah.
And that should go over. Yeah. No,
and Jesse sent his in Carolina money line minus 150, and his best parlay piece, his favorite bet, Letang over half an assist. Nathan, Toronto money line first period, minus 120, and Toronto team total over a half in the first period. And that is it. Great show, everyone. A little bit longer than usual, but we had a lot of guests on today. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Best of luck tonight. Smash the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Thanks, everybody, for coming. Your information will be here in the in the description. Andy, Mom Who Bet says we missed you. We definitely did. Really glad to have you back.
You all too.
And go make sure you follow every single people in this show that give you picks here. They all have an angle that they know what they're talking about. So you're always gonna be in good hands when you're betting hockey. Okay. So I'm gonna go follow Vito right now.
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
All right. So yes, great show. Thanks, Jeff. We will be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, as usual. We will have our Super Bowl playoff show tomorrow night at 8 p.m. So stay tuned for that. We'll go over the Super Bowl game. And best of luck, everybody, tonight.
Look at the stud. Look.
There's Vito. Best of luck tonight, everybody. And we will see you tomorrow.
Love you, Terry. Thank you.
Thank you.